Hey, what's up, everybody? Ugh. Good start, right? Screw it, I'm leaving again. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the third episode of the CrespoCast, which I haven't done in forever. This is only the third episode. I'm lazy. But this time around, I've got two very special guests, the winners of the merch contest. We have...
Woo.
Yeah, right? We have Kukari and Magic Mochi, who...
What's up?
Hello.
I don't know.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, so Magic, why don't you say which you designed, and Kukari, why don't you say what you designed?
Let me pull it up again. I don't have it with me.
All right, while you pull it up, Kukari, what did you design?
I designed the one that you described as a manga panel, which wasn't my intention, but I'm glad you think that.
Oh, it looks straight up
Makes
out of
me
a
feel more
manga
talented.
page. Yeah, I was actually, once Magic kind of gives us the answer, no pressure. Well, I want to actually ask a few questions about both of them, because I was kind of curious about some of the inspiration, the techniques, especially I was missing. I know when you asked, or when you mentioned a few of the hidden Easter eggs, apparently the banner in the back I got 100% wrong. So I was kind of curious
said it
about
had
it.
something to do with YouTube. It
Or,
doesn't have anything to do with that, no.
okay, I translated. I have no idea what it means, but that was the only thing I think I missed. I also appreciated the fact that you got the trash in the corner, which has just expanded since whenever your reference
Well, I had
was.
to. It's always there.
Yes, it is, and it'll
But
never go away.
the banner says something. It works on my Google Translate app. I tested it before I uploaded it. It must be Australian English, I guess. But it says anime shit.
Oh, so okay.
Which just also means anime stuff.
That makes total sense. Yeah, because I think that was the only thing I was missing in the whole thing.
And I don't know how to draw anime, so I just wrote Japanese.
Hey, that works. I can't do kanji to save my life, so I can't draw to save my life. That's why I put my face in front of a camera. And then, speaking of drawing faces, Magic.
Well, you see, I just drew a little bit of everything. Like watching your streams, just watching you evolve as a streamer. You just want to put it all together, you know? You want to advertise yourself. So that was kind of the inspiration in that. I kind of forgot the kanji I put in there, if I'm being honest. I think I looked something up.
All right, you know what? I'm pulling up Translate now and just throwing both of these in here, so I
Yeah.
know.
I remember
Making sure it's not
it said,
inappropriate.
Yeah.
kanji for steel.
I think it was.
remember.
Yes, because I think when I put it into Google Translate, it gave me something weird that it was in your case, Magic, it was close enough that I was oh, I think I know what that is. Maybe my Google just sucks. Or maybe it hates me because I'm using an iPhone. Yeah, mine translates it to copper. I don't know why. And then let me throw yours into Translate here real quick and see what it thinks the sign in the back says. Let's see. It scans it. It does find it. And actually, it also finds... Apparently, it's smart enough to identify the S and the F on top of the thing. Yeah, it translates to 2X shit. So it got... Yeah, I don't know. But whatever. Actually, you said it might be... Well, I don't know. Did they give you an Australian English? No, it just says English. No idea. But I actually wanted to ask...
I did test it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't know. My Google Translate's never been right. I tried to translate something off of... Oh, no, it was Deku's shirt from My Hero Academia one time. And everybody had to correct me on it because when I put it up there, it said something to wear or something like that. It was close, but it was weird enough that it just didn't get it. But no, I actually had a couple questions I wanted to ask about the art design with both of these. Starting with Kakari, I wanted to ask you with the because like obviously all these little Easter eggs like tucked in here and hidden away. I did love the to do 36K. I loved that, but like as I was going through all the little details and stuff, how did you do the dot design all over the place? Because it's both awesome, but also I discovered a nightmare to print for a shirt.
Yeah, I realized that after the fact that this is probably going to be impossible to print in full resolution.
It actually didn't do too bad. That's why I ended up doing like 3 test prints.
Yeah, when you showed me the design on the shirt for the first time, I was so relieved. I was just preparing for just complete, like, just mess.
No, it worked
But
out well.
yeah, I did a few techniques to get the sort of dithering effect.
Mm-hmm.
I just used a dithering filter on certain things like the computer and the chair is mostly like dithering effect because
Okay.
I painted the chair in just normal digital paint and then I used a filter.
Okay.
But for all the things that are on the table, on the wall, those are just hand done.
Hand done? Wow.
For the most part.
All right. Yeah, I was
It's not like I go one pixel at a time. No.
Right, yeah.
I like brush. There's brushes for that.
Gotcha. Well, and the chair thing was the other question I had about this, as odd as that sounds, because like everything else, like I can kind of remember at least at some point in a video where I like either the stuff you added that's referenced in the cage that makes total sense, or the like the stuff on the desk. I can kind of remember referencing one of those at some point. I don't remember a moment where I was actually standing out of my chair where I would have had just a clean shot of the chair. But you nailed the detail,
No,
which is kind of wild.
You've also never had that perspective of your room. Like I kind of just made the whole thing up.
Really?
It's kind of it's almost like an isometric view, almost.
Oh yeah, because it's kind of like it is higher than any of the tripod placements I use.
Yeah, I'd pretty much just used like one or two of your previous live streams where you just walk into frame at the start. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes it easy.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Huh. All right. Dang.
And I could have just kept going with the Easter eggs, to be honest, but I did.
Took me forever to realize that it
wanted
didn't
to
say fun brew and it said fund brew.
Yeah, I cut off the D just to make it more fun, I guess.
It
But
works.
yeah,
And then
I really I really wanted to add like one more Easter egg here and there, but I was kind of like my hand was tired.
No, I think you definitely like hit the right amount. And then magic. Yours I very clearly recognize the one in the background because that drawing of me in the background is also the first fan art I ever received, if I remember that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2015, I want to say. It was a while. Oh my god. It's been a while ago. Which is pretty awesome. It is kind of wild, because you said about the evolution of it. What kind of... I know you said you wanted to kind of evolve it, but there's very clearly, like, two, like, very different art styles in this, like... How'd you separate them all out? How'd you, because you've got the one for Yakuza, the one for Halo.
Well, first what I do is like draw it on like paper. So like it's not all drawn all together. It's like this one is gonna be looking this way. Like Halo's looking like to the left side, while Yazuka is like looking to the right. So like what I'll do is just draw it on paper first, get the details down, or like at least what's it called? Not anatomy, but like you just want to get the base down first.
Yeah, like facial, like structure. Yeah, composition.
Yes. Yes.
Huh.
And you just like compile them together like by layer, but you don't want to like what I did is just like on Procreate, I just made several layers, of course. Import each picture from like my photos into that art program and just went
Hmm.
my way.
Yeah, because I do like the one, like the Halo one's kind of interesting because it almost looks like more sketched, and then you've got like the Minecraft one that's like hardline.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool. I also liked like the way that you had yours designed. Now, I did have to the for the merch that I'm going to be sending out for you all. Um, I did have to send back the first hoodie they sent me, and the print is still small-ish, but like the first one they sent me, the print was like about the size of like I'm trying to think. It's probably like half an inch tall. I'm like, where did you guys get these measurements from? Uh, or only a few centimeters tall. Kakari, I know you're in Australia. Sorry, I'm imperial over here. Mm. But
Yeah, I really like this work by you, Magic. Like this is probably like my second favorite work by you. Like I think my favorite work by you is the fan art you did for with the Hasbin Hotel one.
Oh
oh,
yeah.
that one was awesome.
That one blew me away.
Thank you. I really love your art though. Like it was really nice. Like I was just waiting for you guys to stop talking earlier, but like it looks so detailed and so nice. Like it's like a different feeling to it, you know? It's not like there it's a caricature like how mine has like characters referenced, but rather it's like the setup. I'm just like, whoa. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, the reason why I didn't do any character or anything was because I'm lazy.
Fair enough. Yeah, I did. It was funny too because, like, I can tell the one that I thought was funny with yours was the fold up Polaroid on the desk, not the bigger one with the flash that's open, but the fold up one because you draw that somebody like you've drawn that camera well when somebody's question about the drawing of it is the same as the question they see or that I get when I have the actual thing, which is that a flask? Everybody thinks that freaking camera is a flask. It
Yeah,
looks
right next
like
to
it.
the brew, it works.
Yeah, right, right next to. Yeah, that's true. It is right next to the brew. Oh, that is funny. Yeah, and then the drawing of Julie. That I was terrified would like. There were two things. There were two things in yours, and then there was one thing in yours Magic that I was terrified wouldn't translate over, because on yours Kakari the like Julie on the chair, I was very afraid it was going to just lose that detail, because the tones were so close to one another, and then like the strap and lens together thing, I was afraid it was going to lose that again because the similarities, but that came out really well. And then with Magic's, the paintbrush strokes at the bottom of the whole thing, I have had the last time I had to do anything with like a brush strokes, like a brushstroke style pattern. I think wasn't really a brushstroke, but it was like the fine detail in the Steins Gate logo that I had on my shirt. That was a nightmare, and they nailed that first try, and then just got the size wrong. So yeah, they came out really well. You guys did a phenomenal job, which is why I chose both of you instead of just one. Well, that and the fact that nobody else bothered, that made me kind of sad. But hey,
Didn't Jake submit a wonderful design? Was that Jake?
with the MythBusters one. That's true. Jake did. I can't discredit that, but it was very like meme of the moment. And then which I forget which one of you did the hair. The hair shirt.
The hair. Oh yeah, that was me.
That was you. I'm like,
Sums up your whole personality. There you go.
sums up my personality, my hair. Good to know. Good to know. That is funny.
Well, your marketability, I suppose.
What's that?
Your marketability.
Marketability. Yeah, I just need a textured one.
That'll work.
Ew. But yeah, it's interesting because one of the things. So, because you actually, I know you wanted a whole, or we kind of brought this up when we were doing the pre-planning. Is the you're saying about talking about like doing the merch store and that kind of stuff, and it was funny because they changed their process. When I from the last time I had a merch store, and the options they gave me, one of them was pretty like similar to what I had before, but the other one, I was like, that's a good idea for way later, which was like I use Teesprings, which basically they just print stuff when somebody orders it. They do it in like drops, which is way easier. But they gave you the option to like buy a bulk of them, so you could sell them at events and stuff like that. And that was the one that was set up by default when I started trying to get your all's designs on shirts. And so I go to actually like finish it out, and had had a mild heart attack when I clicked the finish now thing, and it just goes, yeah, all right, so your minimum purchase amount is 100 shirts. Like, no. Like, I like these designs, but I'm sorry, not that much.
That'll be $50,000.
It was gonna be
It
like
would be.
it was almost $1,000.
Nah, it's it.
Oh
it's
my, no.
Yeah, it was almost $1,000. I was like, no, thank you. I'll find it. And then of course they hide it like 8 menus deep. So it's like, hey, well, you can turn it off. Of course you can.
Just imagine.
Yeah, my apartment is 90% like YouTube studio, and then like 10% where I live. I don't need a smaller percentage of that just for shirt storage. Oh man. So with that out of the way, what have y'all been doing?
Well, you can go. You can go.
What's that, magic?
Oh no. I cut you off by accident, so I was just like, oh,
Yeah, I've just been drawing. I do
drawing.
that every morning.
Oh wow. All right.
nice.
When did you all start drawing?
I started drawing when I was little, but I stopped for like a good 10, 15 years. I only picked it up a few years ago.
I started like when I was younger also, and I still do it pretty often. Like I started off with like comics for friends, and then it just went on.
Cool. I've never had a drawing talent. I've pretended to try, and it's like, oh, just keep trying. I'm like, I can speak better than I can speak and write better than I can draw. That's awesome. Did y'all ever take any classes on it, or you just do it to do it until you got to where you are now?
I mean, you just got to do it till you do it.
Yeah, like self-taught, yeah, basically. Just look at YouTube, be like, oh, I want to learn how to do anatomy. Well, there you go. Free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you always got to take like fresh references, like what inspires you.
huh. Yeah, I guess for some of the stuff, like depending on how you're drawing, it'd have a lot of the same kind of principles as like photography in terms of like you mentioned earlier with like composition and stuff like that.
Yeah, photography is really useful if you like want to try and create any sort of image, because it really helps with composition and lighting.
I didn't think about the lighting thing. Yeah, that would make sense. Huh. I mean, I would mess around with cameras every day, so that maybe I should try. See how bad I am at the start, and then go on from there, right?
I mean, practice does
Yeah.
make perfect.
Yeah. Oh, believe me,
The thing
I
that trips a lot
know.
of people up is people tend to get really angry when they start out.
Hmm.
They just don't think they're any good, which is really like it just happens to everyone.
It's actually it's funny you say that about like when people get started with they get angry, because when I started drumming, that was actually what kept me going with drumming, was hating everything about how I played and just not settling until I got to where I was like, I am okay with I still hate the way that I play, but it's it's the point of like I think it's passable, and I'm currently trying to work my way through that with singing as well.
I'm not musically inclined at all, so to me, like, you're just beyond my imagination in terms of talent.
I, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I appreciate it.
It's just, different perspectives.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Because, I mean, I look at both your all's drawings and I'm just like, good lord. I'm not going to be able to touch that in 1,000 years. So, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, and, oh gosh, what was something else I meant to ask? I hate that. Every time I'm like, I've got to plan things out, I'm like, I'm not going to take notes on what I need to, what I'm going to ask. I'm just going to remember it. And then I get on here and I'm like, oh, Mike's down. So, okay, let's try to see if everything's good. I forgot everything. Oh, I remember.
Yep.
I remember one of the things I was going to ask was, what brought you all to my channel? Like, what initially brought you all to my channel? Because every time I meet new fans or talk to fans, not new fans, obviously you all have been here for a long time. But like, what initially brought you all to the channel?
That's going way back. Well, you would that'd be like 2014 or 15, one of the two.
Just
Whenever you were reacting to Black Butler the first time, no, it was either that or Future Diary.
Ooh, those were both good.
I actually don't remember.
Really?
It's such a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a while. I've forgotten why I even started before, but now it's just something I do. Yeah. No, I know a lot of people have talked.
I'm still adamant that like Crunchyroll or some streaming service should add a co-watch feature, a watch-along sort of feature, so you can watch with friends or an audience or something. You can still pay for the anime.
Mm-hmm.
You can still watch it legally.
I mean,
they just don't do that.
Yeah, that was always the biggest challenge with, like, because even back in the, like, oh gosh, it feels so weird to say back in the day, but like, because back when I was reacting, and I know you all stuck through, like, I think both of you and tons of other people, like, I was very, like, I lost sleep, weight, mental stability, all of this over the initial transition when all that stuff happened. And you guys definitely stuck through it, which I was very proud, or not very happy about, and I was very proud to see how many people like stuck in as a community for the long haul with this. And I mean, we're finally not losing subscribers on a daily basis and actually gaining them again, which is nice. But yeah. Like initially with the reaction videos, I know a lot of people came for that, and I always felt bad switching, but yeah, it was just it was something else. It was hard. It was hard after a while.
Yeah, because it's kind of like switching from something with mass appeal that pretty much anime appeals to everyone. Reaction videos appeal to pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
So you kind of switch to a niche, but then you like turn that niche into a community, which is kind of the good way to go about it. If you just like didn't make a Discord or didn't incorporate any sort of community ideas, then I don't think your channel would have like bounced back from immediately straight after covering something like anime reactions.
Oh yeah, I would have died.
I think the community is definitely like what's brought your channel back to life, which is good to see, because like you've made good content in the past and you still make good content today, and the only difference is like who you're targeting, and you're not trying to target a general audience, you're just doing what you want to do, which is kind of like the best way to go.
I appreciate that. I mean, that means a ton.
I totally agree with Corkart. Well, I can't speak today. Wow. I totally agree what you said earlier. I'm just like, yep. Don't interrupt him. just let him go.
Yeah, I feel like we're just talking over you, Magic. I apologize.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I'm usually a quiet person, anyways.
I was kind of actually worried about, like, I've had no other experience of bringing like fans or anybody into videos or anything like that. And it's always, you know, when you meet new people in terms of speaking with them, it is kind of weird of like, all right, you got to, you know, play the field. Like, okay, whose personalities, how do we make this all work together? But so far, so good. Yeah. Because my last experience with my podcast was Harley and Haven, who are, all three of us are amateur voice actors, so talking, even now, clearly isn't a problem.
I'm not a voice actor. I don't intend to be. I don't intend to ever come back here. But I like it.
You're just obliging us because you won. You won a contest. Fair enough.
No. I actually did want to come here. But, it's not.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I was super excited when you guys actually said yes, because I was like, I have like your own designs to offer you on shirts for winning. Also, the podcast, you know, if you're into that.
Yeah, it was a bit weird because I wasn't really sure if it was clear if I was allowed to pick other designs or just my own, and I was just like, oh, just pick two of my own.
I kind of left it as, oh, you talking about with picking two or pick, oh, wait, what do you mean? For me picking them or you picking them?
For me picking.
Oh, yeah.
That was just for my designs, because those would be the ones that you wanted to test, I would assume.
Well, I mean, you could have picked, I mean, you all picked could pick whatever you wanted. Like,
okay.
Yeah, anything. Sorry, I didn't make that as clear as I should have, I guess. I thought you meant picking the designs like to draw. I was like, no, I left that as open as possible, and you clearly took advantage of that with the hair shirt.
Oh yeah, I love the challenge.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was impressed with what y'all did. I keep circling back to that because it was just like, it was one of those like, I will ask, and you know, you, not to say I didn't have expectations, but I didn't set high expectations, and clearly like just the two of you, and yes, Jake with the Mythbusters design, but like actual designs, I was kind of like, I guess we'll see, and I didn't really put too much thought into anything of like, oh, well, let's see, you know, maybe they'll do this, maybe they'll do that. I'm like, I just want to see, and I was blown away. So, oh man.
Yeah, there was like a good 2 weeks where I didn't even know what I was going to draw, because I was like, what do I draw? A reaction video with an X over it? I didn't really know at first, so I was just like, I was just watching a live stream, and I was like, that'll work.
I need to do another one of those.
Wait.
Sit down and talk. Anyway.
Magic, how did you come up with the inspiration? Did you just think of it immediately?
Not really. It took some planning because it's going to be made into a t-shirt. Like you're like, I need to make this good. Like if like, so say like at first I'm like, oh, I might not get picked for this, but like you don't want to like think like that, right? So like I just took inspiration from like, you know, other content creators, like how they kind of did their shirt, and like see, what seems very appealing. So, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just do what I want to do, make characters, and that's what he gets, basically. Like,
that works out.
Like I don't
That's the right
like
way to go.
not like I don't understand. It's just like what seems very like appealing to like other audience members, right? And like usually people would go around with like characters on their shirt, especially from content creators. So I'm just like, oh, might as well put characters, make it represent what Garrett is, you know. Just...
I am Yakuza, anime, Minecraft, and Halo. More so recently, just Halo. Oh my god.
So much Halo.
I set that goal, and then I realized that I had just played through Curse Halo. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna be sick of Halo yet. I also didn't realize how different the OG Halo on the original Xbox was versus like what they put in the Master Chief Collection, because like holy cow, it is so much harder. I don't know. I should probably do something different stream wise for tomorrow.
I enjoy the Halo. I mean, I only played Halo 1, so...
Yeah, hey, that's the right one to play.
Anything past that, the nostalgia factor just doesn't hit for me.
All right, fair enough. Magic, did you ever... I mean, I don't think you've dropped in for a few streams because I take it you haven't played Halo or don't care for Halo.
Honestly, I don't really care for it. Like,
fair enough.
I don't know how to say about it. It's just not my type of game I watch.
No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. Again, that's... Actually, I meant to say when you were saying about the, it's just what designs kind of work and that kind of stuff, and then just saying I'm going to make, what I want. That actually, I think your thought process behind that fits the channel just as well as the design does, in terms of just like, I'm going to make what I want, and here's what you get. It's me. It works. That's awesome.
It does work. That's the only way to do it.
100.
That was my inspiration too, because you may notice mine is not like normal t-shirt designs, mainly because it's too detailed.
Yeah.
Too low res, whatever. Either way.
Oh no, it was high res enough. It was that resolution that made the printing difficult.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I just did what I wanted. I didn't really think about if other people would like to buy a shirt of that. I was just like, oh, this looks so cool.
Well, and it always blows me away. Like when I was looking through the Easter eggs and stuff. Like, the Halo thing in the back. I've played BeamNG like twice on this channel, and you put it in the case behind me. Like, it's hilarious to me and amazing to me, because I've only had this happen like once before, where it's like, you had all these things in the mix, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that, or oh yeah, that is the thing that has been on this channel. I had, when I went to RTX in Austin, Texas a few years back, I remember meeting, who was it? Was it Blue? No, I met Blue out there. Another guy in the chat often, but who was it? Somebody who knew my content, and I feel terrible not remembering who they were. And they said something to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. What's that from?" And they're like, "You said it in a video." I'm like, "Oh, like maybe scripting my videos is a good idea instead of just going off the cuff." Yeah, so it's just funny how much detail you all retain. Where for me, it's just like, I've burned through so much stuff in a day of content. Like for every 3 videos most of y'all see, it's like a day worth of work of like recording, and then like a couple days worth of editing. So I just burn through all that, and then people like y'all latch onto it, and I'm like, that's cool. Where's that? Oh, that's me.
I mean, I feel like if you do scripting, like, I mean, it's planned out, but like I feel like it just takes the fun out of it sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
you just say something random, and they're like, "Ha, that's funny," but like, I don't know. Like, that's at least in my opinion.
No, I get that. That's why I outline everything instead of scripting it. Just kind of go with the flow. It's worked so far.
Yeah.
Seems...
And recently you said you're going off the schedule.
I did break the schedule.
Yeah, which is like perfectly fine. Like, no, like you don't have to fit yourself to a schedule unless you want to.
Yeah.
Something creative like what you're doing.
Well, and it just burns you out. Like, I mean, it's sort of like, if I were to, like, I'm back in terms of like mentality ready to make content, but it's one of those like, it's like, I'm sure with either of you with drawing, it's one of those like, you gotta want to do it, and because you enjoy doing it, you just do it over and over constantly. And I think part of that was because I was scheduling it, It's like, instead of saying, I want to, in your all's case, it's like instead of saying, I want to draw, it's, okay, got to draw for this day. Got to draw for this day. And then it's like, okay, I don't want to, and I know I have to, and I'm that kind of person where I latch myself to a schedule. And so I think by removing this is probably going to be helpful, because this is a video, this is going to get posted sometime next week, which I wanted to get this out before the end of the month, but I realized that my schedule and figuring everything out and getting the shirts printed, I wanted to get the shirts to you before the podcast so we could talk about them, but courtesy of print speeds, because of everything going on in the world right now and having to send back 2 designs, didn't quite work out. But hey, we're immediately dating this video. We are recording it at the end of the month, so that counts for something.
Yep.
Yeah, it's in fact May here already, where I am.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're in the future. Am I still alive in the future? Barely. All right. Fun. Yeah, I'm actually. It's funny presumably your accent kind of gave it away. If you don't mind saying, or if you don't mind me saying, we're like, I don't know where you are in your continent, but I have always wanted to go to Australia. That has always been a place I've wanted to go.
I mean, can't go now.
I know I can't go now. I literally had an entire... What's that?
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I'm just thinking you forgot about restrictions.
What do you mean I forgot about restrictions?
COVID-19 and all that.
Oh, no, I knew about the restrictions. I'm saying I've always wanted to go. I know I can't now. I've always wanted to go, which really bums me out. Because before all this happened, I had been saving up to travel to Japan, and I was actually, I had all this stuff planned of, I was going to make a video where I was going to take that Pentax camera that I have, which is Japanese made, and shoot Japanese film for a vacation in Japan. And ideally I was going to try to find a place to develop it. I was going to film the whole thing. And I finally had the money saved up to go. I had everything saved up, ready to go. I'm starting to plan out equipment to take and all that. And this was in March, I think early March of last year. And right as I got that, everything locked down. I was so frustrated. I get why, but man. So
if I remember, I was planning to go to Japan either this year or next year, but I don't know when COVID's going to go away. So
yeah, what all?
Do interstate travel, so
that's opened up a bit more.
Yeah, we don't have as big of an issue over here as you do over there.
Yeah,
unfortunately for you guys.
Yeah.
What all is? For you, both of you, what all has changed for the stuff that y'all normally do versus how it is now? Has there been many drastic changes? Because here on the East Coast, I get ain't nobody caring up here. You can do whatever you want. You can't step on my freedoms. I ain't wearing a mask, and I got to work with that every day. So how's it been for you all?
Thank you. Thankfully, that stuff's a minimum over here. So there's not a lot of people really care about breaking the rules. There was a lot of that at the start because people just weren't adapted to it. But now there's not a lot of that. The most we get of that is, what is it? Over the eastern states. I'm in the western states, so we're pretty secluded. We don't have COVID.
Nice.
It takes a 4 or 5 hour plane flight just to get anywhere that has COVID. So we're pretty safe here. But over there, you get people just leaving quarantine constantly.
Jeez.
Every week, there's one new person traveling. It's just no.
Dang.
Every week, it's one new person. Just stop.
Is that now the where you're at? Is that more of the larger city area, or is that the other side?
The eastern side is where all the big cities.
Okay.
I'm on the west.
So that, yeah, that seems to be a consistent, at least between you all and the U.S., is like somewhat like that, where the East and all the big cities seems to be the concentration of weirdness. What about you,
Well, at
Magic?
least, well, I live in the West Coast, and at least where I live, it's not like, oh, I don't want to wear my mask kind of thing. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know, like at work, of course, there's people going to be like, I don't want to wear my mask. Like, I work at a fast food restaurant.
Hmm.
So, like, you always get those people in drive-throughs who don't wear their mask, even though, at least as a courtesy, you should, especially if we're handing you guys the food. But, like, it's not too bad. Like, what you call it? A lot of people in my area has been vaccinated,
Oh, that's
but
good.
a lot of them still wear their masks to be safe.
Yeah, I know it's a requirement where I work. It's funny though because of where I've been moved to with my job, and I'm not going to say exactly where I work, but it's something akin to the nerd herd. Um, I I have a Tokyo Ghoul mask design, like it's got the big teeth and the
Cool.
and all that. And I had that in my back pocket because where I got moved to, they actually had the company branded neck gaiters, like the ones that go up over but go down to your neck. And because I was running around so much, my hair kept getting in my face, and it was like right at that point of the year where like it's hot inside, but they haven't turned the heaters off for the big businesses. So I'm like getting hot. I got this thing covering up half my face, and I was like, I have a mask in my back pocket. So I literally, I'll put it. Well, I can't put it up because it'll show where I work. But I took the gaiter, scrunched it up, and just pushed it up to the top of my head, and had my hair held back like a hair, like a almost like a hair wrap or a headband. I don't know why that word eluded me. And I put the mask on, and so I was like helping people looking like a complete psycho. Like people coming in asking questions about like, I think I got a virus on my computer, and it's like cool.
Just imagine that.
Oh, it's like, yeah, I am. What's funny because I try to be the same person for everything. You know, the same person I am when I'm talking to you all is the same person I am when I try to make my videos, when I meet people who recognize my content, and when I'm at work. But the I don't have time for your crap kind of me comes out a lot more when I'm working, especially if it's like, you know, like I was saying earlier with the, I don't want to wear a mask. It's like, well, I don't want to work with you if you're not wearing a mask. So what are we going to do here, pal? Yeah.
I can imagine dealing with that. I can't even imagine that. That's crazy.
Like, I've been fortunate enough that, like, it hasn't been too bad recently. We end up dealing more with, oddly enough, we deal more with people blaming the fact that they missed their return policy by 3 to 5 months on COVID, more than we deal with people not wanting to wear a mask. It's like, well, you all were closed down, so I wasn't able to return it. I'm like, right, but we opened up, you know, even if that was the case, we opened up 4 months before you're trying to return this.
My God.
Yeah. We don't have the brightest people
Customer
here.
service is a gem.
No, isn't it great?
Don't you just love it?
It's phenomenal. Yeah. That's why it's like, I'm like, every day I just look at like what I'm doing here on YouTube and just being like, someday it'll be worth it. Someday it'll be worth it. God, I hope so. So it's funny actually because I don't know if you all like. Do you all watch any of the tech stuff I make?
I think I watched most of it.
Really? I
I'm
said
not
that
big
with
up
way
on
more
that,
surprise than I should have actually. I'm sorry.
The camera stuff I watch.
I don't think I have.
That's fine. Really? No. Um, Yeah, it's funny because oddly enough, like I don't want to talk like about like the money I make on YouTube or whatever, but like the most popular videos I've had recently was the Mac Mini video I made, which has basically financially been carrying the channel. But you're not gonna guess it. But just I'm gonna quiz you on the knowledge of my videos, general knowledge of my videos. What do you think? It's gonna be a weird number. What do you think is like the fourth most popular video on my channel so far, at least in the last, well, let's say the last month?
Like the fourth?
The fourth. I say this because it's random enough that you might guess it, but you might not. It's just a random thing I posted.
A vocal cover?
Surprisingly,
a
no.
watch trailer?
What was it?
Like a trailer? Like you're watching an anime trailer or something?
No. It's anime. It's anime themed, but barely. It was the when an anime fan drives a stick shift, which for some reason blew up in the past like month and a half. Yeah,
That's
it's ridiculous. It's hilarious. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Like I'm sure. I don't know if you all have ever done where it's like you do something and it's like, oh wow, that worked out really well, even though like you kind of just went in with like, oh, I'm just gonna do this because whatever. It's kind of funny. So I had another. This is what I get for trying to memorize questions instead of actually, writing them down like a responsible host. Oh man. So I guess with it being an anime channel, have you all been watching any anime recently that you've been really into or anything like that?
I don't really watch new anime so much. I tend to just rewatch classics over and over. The last one I watched was Fooly Cooly.
Ooh, good choice. I actually just bought that on Blu-ray.
I was looking for a copy of that, physical copy, and I just saw that they used to have these ultimate collection editions.
Yeah.
That ran out of print years ago, obviously.
Right.
But I'm just like, oh, man, if I could time travel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've got a few places around here that like have old stuff. I actually, not to. Actually, I'll tell you this in a minute. But anything you've been watching, Magic? I feel like we just keep talking over you.
No, it's okay, it's okay. Honestly, not really. Been focused more on school. Like, just don't have the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't miss that.
I won't miss it either.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What I was gonna say, we have a few places around here with that have like, I mean, it's kind of a catch-all thing. We got a place called Second and Charles around here that actually has like, oh gosh, music on vinyl, CD. They got instruments, they got anime, they got manga, game consoles. Like it's just sort of an everything a nerd like me would like. And back when I was still doing reaction videos, because I kind of shared this, but I don't think I ever really went into too much detail with it. But I went in there, and I remember I was planning to do Ghost Stories, the English dub, because that's just a comedy gem. And I was like, there's no place for me to watch this, period. Like I couldn't find any place that still had it because the way I guess they did the licensing back in the day was all kinds of a mess and stuff. And I walk in and I go to their Blu-ray section or just the anime section where they have all the Blu-rays and DVDs. And I'm walking along and I see a few things. And I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, they got the Ghost Stories. They got the, what is this, disc 2? Cool, I'm going to get this. And then I looked down and I was like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they had every single one of them just stacked in there that somebody had brought in and traded in. It's like,
Nice.
That's convenient.
yeah, it was, oh, shut up, watch. My watch keeps, muting it. Watch. Anyway, yeah, it was very convenient. Yeah, it was very convenient. I don't know who in my area, because like in my area, it's like the best part of living where I live is that you can be literally in any other place within about 15 minutes. Because nobody actually wants to be here. But I don't know who in this area had that and traded it in. I'm like, somebody among us is also into really obscure anime. Yeah, but I do remember one of the questions. Have you all, like, before all this happened, obviously, did you ever go to any conventions or anything?
No, we don't really have a lot of conventions here. There's like the occasional anime convention, like yearly, but I've only been there a couple times.
All right.
I only been to one convention because very awkward in social situations, and I had someone else come with me.
Mm-hmm.
We were planning to go to the next one, but COVID happened, so I only went to one so far.
Yeah. I think that's been the thing that's really, like, killing me. Though I will say, is from the art perspective, I am super pumped to see what cosplay comes out from all the time people have had indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Which convention did you go to? Like, what is out in there? What is out in those areas?
A very small one. It's nothing like LA Expo or like Katsucon. It's nothing like that. Like a more like where I live, it's just like a more smaller convention, I guess.
All right. Cool.
I don't even remember the name of the ones I went to.
Fair enough. It's a convention. I'm going. Yeah.
I think one of them was like a fun. No, it wasn't fun. It was like a Madman one. That was cool. That was a few years ago when the SAO movie was coming out.
Madman.
Oh
yeah. Oh
gosh. It was a Madman Expo or something.
So.
But yeah, that's the only one I remember. So long ago.
Everything feels like it was long ago after this this past year.
From the before times.
From the before times. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how things are going to change after all this, because people are like, I can't wait for things to go back to normal. I'm like, I don't know if normal is going to be normal. So, yeah.
Like, it's weird here where I am because we don't have COVID so much. We only have like 6-7 cases on occasion, right?
Yeah.
Which is very small, but still people break quarantine like every week, delivery food drivers and stuff like that. But we don't have a lot of conventions still. Like there's like not a lot open.
You think that's because they're doing like the sort of trying to meet standard with what everybody else is doing, or just cause?
I think so. Because over East, for the most part of the last year and a half, it's just been closed. Everything's been closed for the most part. On occasion, there'll be, the sunny day where no one has COVID, everything's fine, and then we'll bring a boat in full of COVID.
Jeez. Well, not to throw shade on the U.S., but you all and most other countries handled it a lot better than we did at the start. But hey, here's to new opportunities.
I wouldn't say it's better.
You don't think so?
No. At the start, at least, it wasn't better. Australia was pretty much as slow as America was at the start. The only place I can think of that did it better was places like New Zealand. Damn. Who got international acclaim for how they handled the COVID.
Kiwis beat us to the punch.
When all they did was just follow the rules.
Basically, yeah. It's funny how that works. Oh, man. Yeah, but I don't know. I think normal's going to be, I think normal will happen, but I don't think it's going to be within the next few. Like, I would almost give it 2+ years before it's actually, like, normal. But
Agreed.
yeah, we will see. Just depends on, again, like how many people actually want to follow the rules. What was that?
I apologize. My brother is yelling in the background for no reason.
Oh, it's all good. I thought my cat was gonna make more noise, but she just kind of curled up on the bed and passed out. This cat has slept all day. The laziest cat in the world.
Yeah, usually my dog comes barging in my room howling at me this time, so I'm lucky.
Oh man. Oh, I don't know what made my brain remember this, but I did remember a question I was gonna ask, and it's gonna be, don't get whiplash because I'm gonna go back to the drawing thing real quick. What software do you all use?
I don't use Photoshop. That is beyond my intellect. I use knockoffs Photoshop. It's basically just free Photoshop. It's called Critter. It's pretty popular. But yeah, it's basically just a underpowered Photoshop.
Underpowered Photoshop. I like that. Magic?
I use Procreate on the iPad. I don't use computer software, I guess.
I've known a lot. Harley was the same way using using an iPad for drawing. It's funny how now do you use I think you use the Apple Pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kakari, do you use a like a Wacom tablet or something, Kakari, or do you use like the mouse and
Yeah, I use a Wacom tablet.
Wacom tablet?
I bought this tablet about 4 years ago. It's only got about 1 million scratches so far, but it still works fine.
Chump change, man.
Yeah. It doesn't have a screen because screens weird me out. I can't see what I'm drawing if my hand's in the way. I don't like that. So I don't know if I would ever like get an iPad. So I really do like the appeal of Procreate because just like all the cool features and how smooth and sleek it looks. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I know that.
Compared to my software that just like bugs out and just crashes.
Well, I mean, you'd be in the same boat with Photoshop. So I mean, why spend the money on Photoshop if you can have just as many crashes with with your tool?
Yeah. But to be fair, mine only crashes when I do something stupid like try to add a filter to like 30 layers at once.
Oh god. Select all, apply, boosh.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, because I know I use my iPad with like photo editing, and it's funny because like not to like get into super techie stuff, but like both of you winning this contest shows like you can create with pretty much anything with the right tool and the will to do it. Because I've had people where I'll do photo editing, and I did photography for a while, and that's where a lot of my like lenses come from. That's why I'm the only person ranting about YouTube video or ranting about anime in 4K, but so overkill. But I'll do photo editing like on my iPad. And they're like, so when are you gonna get a PC to do some real work? I'm like, the photo you just complimented that looked super professional was also edited on this. But then on the flip side, it's like you can do just as much stuff with the right tools on the other end of the spectrum. It's like I like how that line's blurring and the creativity isn't limited by what kind of tool you use. It just has to be the right tool for the job, but you have so many options now, which is great. So
Yeah, I'm really excited for the next like 5 years of just software to come out for art and stuff. With all the graphics card upgrades and everything coming out is just like exciting and new.
Yeah.
I'm just like this is like all the updates to Critter in the last year and 2 years have just like doubled its value. It's like in some ways surpassed Photoshop, and it's only getting better for like a lot of different software.
That's awesome.
Like I can imagine in probably like not even 5 years, people would be doing professional stuff on their phone just on the go.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I know I've been using my iPad Pro for pretty much everything laptop based, and the only things that I use for like the only thing I do on a desktop anymore is just video editing. And then Apple comes around and goes, "Hey, that chip that you've been using to do all your video editing in your desktop, yeah, we're putting that in an iPad now." I was like, "Well, why? Okay." Yeah, it's crazy. And you were saying about the graphics card. I didn't want to cut you off because I have a bad habit of doing that, but I was going to say, yeah, graphics cards advancing and all that, but, you got to be able to get your hands on them first. But, yeah, then it'll be great.
Yeah. My graphics card is like 6 years old at this point. It still does me good, but
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything fancy.
No.
And that's the big appeal of the new ones. They can do fancy things.
Yeah, very fancy things.
Agreed.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's funny, too, because, like, I know... Well, I was talking to somebody a while ago about trying to upgrade my PC, and I'll do this where I'll say something before thinking about every logistical piece around it, which is probably what got me into YouTube in the first place, is being like, I'm going to make YouTube videos, not thinking about the fact that, almost 7 years and 2 channels later, I'd still be doing it. But 3 channels, God. Anyway, but I said something about like looking to upgrade my PC, and he just starts laughing at me. I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You work in like the tech industry, you know what?" And I just kind of paused for a minute. I was like, "Oh yeah."
And like I only know one person who ever won the new egg shuffle, I think it's called.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
only know one person like from the start of when they started the shuffling. They only just got it recently. I'm just like, my God.
Yeah. That the graphics cards, consoles, like I am kind of glad I decided to wait on which console I was going to get until the new Halo came out, because I'm like, do I get a PS5 or an Xbox One or an Xbox whatever they named it? And I'm just like, good thing I didn't make the decision, because I wouldn't be able to act on it anyway.
Yeah. It still blows my mind that there's like never been a PS5 available in where I live at all.
Really?
It's just I check it like monthly just to be like, I wonder if it's ready yet. No, it's been like 6 months.
It's always a resounding no.
Yeah, pretty much. Imagine buying what is it, like a 3080 or 3090 graphics card, and only like finding out like a few months after you get it that they're releasing a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's devastating.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and especially because like the thing that's really making this hard too is sort of like how everything's advancing so quickly. Like you're saying, is like it's such a double-edged sword, because everybody wants to get the newest. Like obviously, most people want to get the newest thing and then kind of figure out what works best for them. But then it's like, considering that entire range doesn't work now, where it's like, well, I don't need the best, but I want the mid-range. But everybody's bought the best, and there's not a lot of them being made. So everybody gets the mid-range. So I guess I'll go with the cheap one, but because I'm waiting until after the mid-range goes away, now everything at the base is also gone. It's like, the new stuff's going to be out before anybody gets their hands on the current new stuff. It's crazy.
Yep. I was still using keypad phones for like a full decade after they went out of style.
Really?
I just didn't like touchscreens. I didn't like touchscreens. I thought they were weird. I was like, I can't feel the buttons. What am I doing?
I get that a lot, actually. Like, I would mess with my older siblings on phone. Like, it just felt nicer, you know? You have control over it, but like, if you have it on like a touchscreen, you're just like, where's the appeal to it? I mean, I appreciate the phones now, but like, it'd be pretty cool if like we can get phones like that again.
That'd be pretty neat. That would be pretty cool. It is funny too with like how I don't know if you all remember, there was the I think the first Android phone had a slide out keyboard, but it was kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's like, well, people want to type on physical keys, so we'll just put a physical keyboard on there, but then also not actually put a digital keyboard on the screen. So the only way to type is to fold the phone open.
Yep.
it worked, and then they pushed
Bring
them.
back the flip phones.
Bring back the flip. I mean, they have kind of with the foldables, but we know how that
True.
goes. We have one of the ones that folds in half on display, and it's already broken.
Just give it a few years to cook. They'll come up with it.
Oh yeah, no, I fully anticipate it to be a decent idea. I think it's going to take somebody implementing it in a way that makes a bit more sense and also makes it stronger. But like, I always tell people, I'm like, when I used to do more sales oriented stuff before my move in my position at my work, people would ask about the first folding phone that Samsung did, and I'm like, do you know what beta testing is? They're like, no, what's that? I'm like, it's where you get to try out an unfinished product. I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you want to try it, go for it. And they'd get it. And I would usually tell them, like, just be careful, please. I don't want to see you back for a problem. Yeah. But no, I do miss the old flip phone. I don't miss T9 dialing. Like the trying to type out a text on the number pad. Like, it would have to be a full keyboard.
Nah, I do miss that. It was like so much. Like I don't know why, but like my brain is since I guess it was the first way I typed.
Really?
So my brain just locked onto that.
Huh. Yeah, I never grasped that fully. Like, the first phone I had that let me do any sort of like texting also supported text to speech, and I was more willing to embarrassingly talk to myself in public over and over again till I got it right than try to figure out the T9 typing. So, yeah, my very next phone was a slider because I was just like, I can't do this.
And voice recognition back then is just like,
Oh.
what are you doing? It's not gonna guess.
No. I mean, you could say, I'm on my way, and it would say something like, cook the souffle, and it's just like, nope, not even close. It's ridiculous. But it's funny too, because I want to do more videos about this, but like with the collecting all the old like Apple. Nope. No, Kakari dropped out. Oh no. Oh hey.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. Wait, is he back?
Sorry, I dropped it.
Oh yeah, he's back.
I don't know what happened.
No, it's all good.
My bad.
No, you're fine. I was worried for a minute because I didn't know if it was like, oh no, did he like completely drop out, or is it just momentary? What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was gonna say with like collecting all the old Apple stuff. It is funny. The one thing I do really miss with like the music players or just tech in general, the click wheel on the old iPods was genius. That's all I had. I just love that. So, it's brilliant. But, anyway. I don't know. Did you all have anything else you wanted to talk about? Anything else you wanted to say?
Nothing interesting.
Same here.
Nothing interesting? I've dragged you all along enough through this podcast, eh? Oh man.
No, it was real good.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I don't know if I want to do a podcast again solely because it's one of those like we might do. I might try a podcast with fans again. It's definitely one of those like I have learned a lot about needing to do a bit more pre-prep. Yeah.
Same.
Just a learning curve.
Well, yeah, and I expected that, but hey, it works out. It worked well. I was kind of spoiled by the fact that like the last two podcasts I've done were with other fellow voice actors, so like everybody had their own recording equipment, was ready to go. So I had to like try to throw together. I had a backup plan, and it seems to work. So we'll see once I tell it to stop. But yeah, otherwise, thank you all both for showing up.
Actually,
Okay.
I have a friend who's a big fan of yours,
Yeah.
and he told me to tell you this. They're like, "Hey Garrett, I set this up to prank you. Please thank my friend Zerochi for helping me out with this, and a wonderful guest on your podcast. Your evil mod, the real Magic Mochi."
Really?
I'm not I'm not Magic, unfortunately.
Wait a minute. What?
I'm his friend Zero
Doors.
Two.
Okay. So we
I
get a plot
apologize.
twist. We get a plot twist right at the end.
Yeah, he told me to do
Garrett,
it at the end of your stream. Oh, not stream podcast.
Garrett, I have a secret to tell you.
Oh no, you're not actually Australian.
How dare you?
What?
How dare you?
How dare I?
My name's not really Kokari.
I mean, I figured as much.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It's not as much of a twist.
okay.
I was gonna say no. That's okay. So magic dipped and offered you in his or her stead to avoid the voice reveal. Yes.
Yeah, he dropped into my stream. Magic is actually a really good friend of mine in real life. And he was like, "Hey, you want to do this prank on this streamer I'm mod for?" I'm like, "Sure, I have nothing else to do." So I apologize for being very intrusive in here, but
Wait, but
it seemed like a fun plan.
now I'm confused. What about the drawings and stuff? Oh my god.
I mean, he does art for me also because the emotes I think he sent you before were actually emotes for me. Um,
Oh my god.
so I know what program he uses, and like I did a little research before coming into the podcast, what those were referencing, and
We have a
yeah.
future actor in our presence. You had me totally sold.
Partners in crime.
That's
Yep.
Identity theft is not a joke.
what. Yeah, I am all right. Well, that's set the that's determined the title for this podcast. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. What did you say your real username was?
My real username is Zero Chew.
Zero
I just
Chew.
go by Zero. Yeah.
Zero.
Zero Chew.
Zero.
Chew with.
I'm still
It's
terrible at
okay.
names.
It's okay. But I just go by Zero, like by people in my community.
Okay.
So
Well, Zero and Kokari, assuming that is both of your real usernames, thank you both for joining me on this podcast and giving me this last minute plot twist.
No worries, it was really good.
This
I really
was-
like this. I like it a lot more than I thought.
it was fun.
Y'all did great. I didn't have to fill too much awkward space. We carried a conversation well, and I'm happy with how it came out, and I can't wait to wait for God knows how long for this to render because of the way that I make these. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you all for joining us. Thanks to anybody who listened this long into this. Magic, you will hear from me when I post this and do my next live stream that you join as a mod.
Someone's in trouble.
Ooh, he's in trouble.
I mean, he's already a moderator. I don't think I could cause much more strife. Alrighty. Well, that is it. So thank you all for joining. And that's been episode 3 of the podcast. We'll try to do these more frequently. Maybe get more fans involved. Definitely get some more people in general involved. And that's it. Hit the stop button now. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.